Oh boy, we're live again. Gonna have to be a bit quiet today, as my father has to go to work in the morning. Um, yeah, I don't want to wake him up, but uh, I've needed something to take my mind off things, to give me a sense of interaction, or to provide some sort of people presence. Even though I know doing a live stream isn't necessarily interacting with other people, it kind of is in a sense. Um, it's just something to take my mind off of things. Um, I I've felt really lonely yesterday, or not yesterday, just today. I I keep getting them mixed up in my head because I slept. I was awake for pretty much all of yesterday, and then I only got to sleep at like 3 p.m. Today, and then I woke up at like 8:45 ish. So I had something like over 5 hours of sleep. Um, I don't think I'm going to be able to get back to sleep as it stands now. But I've just felt I haven't felt bad per se, just lonely. Like it isn't the kind of depression where you just feel like shit. Um, it's just like an extreme desire to be around other people. But I feel like, if I did seek that out, if I tried to find people to talk to, I'd probably feel the same way. And maybe that's just a defeatist mindset on my part. Like maybe I'm just assuming, things would be bad, right away. Um, but I want to make IRL friends, friends in real life. Um, and I think I need IRL friends. It's just that there's like no one here, No, where I live, there's no people that I can relate to. It's like no one at school I relate to, and it's just a random part of Kentucky. Hey Star, I hope you've been doing the best you can. Yeah, I could be doing a lot worse, so I am thankful for that. But just sort of going with the motions these days. Hello DZD. I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice seeing you again. Um, but yeah, I thought I'd start up a stream here. Um, I thought I'd start up a stream here just to sort of distract myself for a bit. What's up, my N-word? Hey, what's up to you as well? Um, Not much. Just feeling a bit lonely here. Thought I'd do a stream. Um, I like I said, I only got like 5 hours. I went to sleep. I ended up going to sleep at 3 p.m. and then waking up at 8. So, hey, Star, just popping in to say hello, playing Civ with some people right now, though. Okay. Have fun playing Civ. Um, my dog, my dog keeps sniffing my chair. Look at him. He's a good boy. He's a nice dog, I think. But yeah, I don't know how people make IRL friends when they don't live in bigger cities. 'Cause in bigger cities you have a larger pool of people that you can go to. Like you have more options to try and make friends. Um where I live, like the options are very limited because it's a very small city. Um and so like I try doing it here and I just end up not relating to anybody. I think that's one of the really difficult things about being like a really weird person is that um it's much harder to hit it off with people. Um Can't sleep. I'm having bad Adderall withdrawals. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I've been there back in the day. It's not fun, but you can make it through it. You just gotta push through. Um, it feels like shit. I mean, if it's any consultation, you know, as long as you keep pushing through, you will get through. It's just it feels like shit for a while. But yeah. Yeah, I haven't been able to sleep as well either. Um yeah, I'm using Sudafeds as a cope. I've never used Sudafeds before, but I heard they weren't very like recreational. Like people use Sudafeds to make meth, but like I everything I've read sort of says it just sort of like gives you energy, and then after it's done, once you're coming down, it just feels really bad. You just feel terrible. So I've never used them because of that, because it seems like it would be a bit uncomfortable. But whatever you can do to try and get off of it, like using something every now and again is okay, but like once you get dependent on it like that, you just get the bad parts of the drug. You just sort of feel like shit. Oh, good luck. Good luck, man. Oh. Uh, what are you doing, Bert? Okay. This is a nice dog. It's a good boy. So I actually, yeah, it's better than just sitting and doing nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like you are not your addiction. Like your addiction can be changed. It just takes time, man. Um, like when I was addicted to opioids, it was, yeah, January, December, around that time. Um, I remember how bad the physical withdrawals were, is that I felt like I had a terrible case of the flu for like 5 days. I just kept throwing up. Um, and I felt totally powerless. Like, this was just something that I wasn't going to be able to get through. And then it turned out that after enough time went by, I was okay. So, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it is possible you can get through. No, benzo withdrawals was even worse. It felt it being Xanax, it felt like I was actually going to die. It felt like I was actually going to die getting off of those. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I did, because, it's starting to black out a bit there. Oh boy, I did a lot of opioids in high school. Damn. Yeah, I went a bit overboard there. I went a bit overboard there with it for a bit. Happy I stopped. Yeah, I'm happy I stopped as well. I didn't go as far as I could go. Um, and I'm really glad that I didn't, because if I did it any longer, it would have became a serious problem. Mm. My dog's eyes look fucking weird, dude. Like, looking at him from this angle, they look fucking weird. It's like he's tripping out over here. He's just staring at the camera's lens. Same, I had to stop or my mom would kick me out. That's sad. Yeah, I mean, if it worked, it worked. But I'm not familiar with drugs, but I'm a bit addicted to dopamine if you catch my drift. Yeah, I do catch your drift. Um, it's it's just about it's just about changing habits, you know? If the longer a habit's around, the harder it's able to break. But but it can be fixed over time. You just have to keep trying. What breed of dog is that? Um, this is a Pomeranian mixed with a Jack Russell Terrier. Now he doesn't look like a Pomeranian because his fur doesn't like stick out very much. He has kind of like the Jack Russell Terrier fur. But he is a Pom mix. That's why his eyes look like that. But yeah, he's a really unique kind of dog because somehow he ended up coming out looking like a fox. Um, and somehow he ended up coming out looking like a fox, um, even though like he doesn't really look anything like his mom or his dad. Like his mom was this really fluffy Pomeranian, and this dog looks more like a Jack Russell Terrier, but different. But I haven't seen Pom Jacks that are brown before. Like, because I remember when this dog was born, I looked up like all the different kinds of Pom Jacks there were, and I never saw one that was brown. So he's pretty unique. Um, nice. I have a pit bull and a husky. I've always wanted a husky. No, huskies are great. I've always wanted one. Um, we had a family friend who had one, and I always thought it was the coolest dog. Mm. They're just a pain in the ass if you don't take them out every day. That is true. With smaller dogs, you don't have to do as much maintenance because you just sort of have to give them attention every now and again. Um, but with huskies, shepherds are like this too. Like they really do need to be taken out every single day. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of dog you have, you should probably be taking your dog out every day. But with those bigger dogs, especially, like they, what are you doing? He's putting his head under there. With those bigger dogs, especially, like you really do need to take them out. Sometimes I do these streams just to take footage of my dog. It's like that's half of the backdrop, and it's kind of comfy. Like I was thinking about different types of commentary that people do on their videos because I I made that video about living at home um with the CS:GO footage over it, and I felt like that was kind of like a callback to 2016 YouTube. I even used the song Aurorian Dance, which is like that song was constantly used in YouTube videos back then. So I wanted to bring back that feeling of like you just have, pretty simple gameplay footage over someone talking because like that genre is still alive on YouTube, but it doesn't really exist the way that it used to, where now it's not as common and like the CS:GO surfing thing, I haven't seen people do that in such a long time that I wanted to kind of bring back that feeling. And I was thinking about like different footage that people put over their commentary and videos where there's this guy Clicks Phillip who I'm a big fan of, um, who he makes just sort of like vlog type videos. Some of them are written, some of them are not, of just him, talking about like daily life sort of subjects or just introspecting on things. But the way his videos are edited is really cool because he takes all of these, beautiful scenes of the UK, and just sort of edits them together over his commentary. And it's very pretty to watch the footage because he's good at filming it. Um, and I was thinking like I I wanna make one of those commentary type videos with just like random footage of my pets edited in, and just have that be the backdrop. There's this guy, Pseudosteph. I think that was, yeah, he made anime reviews for the longest time, and like they were really highly edited videos, but my favorite parts of those videos were like the random clips where he would be playing around with his cat as he was commentating over the footage. Um, it's like little things like that, they just make videos special. Like people want something to look at when they're listening to you talk so they can focus more on your words. If you just have an image on the screen or like, something that's not really that engaging, then it's less comfy. Now, that's why people like, even if the main bulk of the video is just listening to you talk, they like to have the scene change up a bit. Um, or like if someone just records a video of just their face and it's just their face, no editing, they don't really move around at all. It's just them talking into the camera. 9 times out of 10, people are going to put that video in the background. And so because people put it in the background, they're not really paying as much attention to what the person is saying. But if you start doing jump cuts, it's one way to engage people. If you start, cutting into a different room or into a different part of the room, every couple of minutes as you're explaining your point, it keeps people engaged in looking at the video, especially if your room looks really interesting. Um, and so I was thinking about, all of these different ways you can sort of engage the people watching your videos. And I think a lot about editing in general, but ever since the sound on my PC started working again, I've just been thinking about all the different ways that I can edit videos because like it's a visual medium. So the visual component, like there's all kinds of different ways you can say these things. Like one video, the intention of one video might be to be really comfy. And so you just want like a kind of hypnotic, like a hypnotic kind of game to look at, which is like CS:GO surfing. That's something you can just stare at all day, and there's always something going on screen. It just puts you in kind of like a relaxed mood state to look at, and that's why so many people have used it. Um, so yeah, I like different ways of editing videos. Yeah, that's why I like your vids when you're outside. I don't know, I just love the sound of the outside. I agree. I miss old YouTube. I agree with that as well. I like the spirit of old YouTube is something that I want to try and keep alive. Like that idea of just doing whatever you want, of just making content, for the sake of it. Um, I've been trying to keep that alive on this channel because, like I don't do a lot of clickbait titles or anything. I don't I don't make videos that are made to get a lot of views. I just sort of do whatever I want, and I try to be creative. I try to change things up. Um, I don't like just making the same kind of video over and over again. Some videos I'm going to be outside. There's some videos, it's going to be like a bunch of pictures, like that Discord is degenerate video. Um, I just edited in a bunch of random pictures into the video, but like some of them had a purpose. It was like that meme was there at the right time. Like this music, the Undertale song I used, Megalovania in that video, like that was very intentional. I did that, you know, to try and sort of convey an emotion as the slideshow was going. But then you got videos of me just talking of gameplay footage. You got videos of me editing around 10 different ways, you know, around the house, around the room. So, you know, I like to change things up. I don't want to just make one type of video. Um, I remember the first video I saw on YouTube was Porn Crazy Times. I don't really remember what the first video I saw on YouTube was. I think, like, if you want to go back really far, like, it was like my brother watching Charlie the Unicorn and the Duck Song. I think that was the other one. It was the Duck Song. Is that I saw my brother watching those after he came home from school. And this is like a long, long time ago. Um, it was dial-up internet we had, and we had to wait. We had to wait an absurdly long time for videos to load on dial-up. And we had dial-up for like a while. I think it was we didn't get satellite internet until I was like and I think it was like 2013 we got satellite internet, I want to say. Um 2013 or 2012. It was one of those two. But we just had dial-up that whole time. And it was really, really slow. But the reason we had to have dial-up is because, you know, I grew up in rural Tennessee, the South, you know, southern part of the U.S. And so in rural Tennessee, the town that I was in, it was like of like 1,000 people, but all the houses were spread out from one another. And, you know, like the place where I lived specifically, I lived up on a hill, and on the hill that I lived at, there was a farm on one side, which was my grandpa's farm, and then on the other side there was my neighbor. But everybody was separated by trees, lots and lots of trees. And so it was almost like there were no neighbors. Even though like we had neighbors, it just didn't feel like we did. We had a lot of land there. I think it was almost I think it was almost like an acre or something. But no, that was the place I grew up in. So I we used dial-up for a long ass time. Yeah, YouTube had no rules, just cat videos and porn everywhere on YouTube. Yeah, you know, I miss the sort of creative freedom that existed back then. And I feel like I get away with being more edgy on YouTube, um, because I'm just an obscure channel. You know, because my channel is kind of obscure, I can get away with being more edgy. But if I said some of the things that I say on this channel, if I had like 10,000 subscribers or something, I'd probably get into more trouble. It's just that YouTube doesn't enforce their rules onto me because like nobody knows who I am, you know? So it's kind of nice in that sense. Um, Wait, you're from Texas. Funny. So am I. Small world. No, I said Tennessee. Did I say Texas? I said Tennessee. But um it would be cool if I were from Texas, but no, I'm from Tennessee. I live in Kentucky now, but yeah, like I saw YouTube, they recently made this change where because of the coronavirus, they laid off a bunch of their employees. So now YouTube has the freedom to just randomly take down videos that don't actually violate their community guidelines. And I got an email telling me about that, is that yeah, we're sorry, we may just randomly remove your videos. And it's what the hell's going on over there, you know? Um I remember being into those AMV Hell vids where people would, oh, here we go. Is it working? There we go. We're live again. It wasn't working there for a moment. Um, but let's see, what was I on about? Oh yeah, yeah, AMV Hell was actually great. Like, in my opinion, AMV Hell is one of the best things that came out of the internet. I still think it's, especially AMV Hell 3, I still think it's genuinely hilarious. Um, there was a lot of creative stuff going on with AMVs back in the day. Um, people put in a lot of effort into them because it was a serious deal. That's why I can't be a YouTuber. I would have been banned. I'm too cancer. Yeah, like I've had to I've had to self-censor sometimes because there's a lot of like Holocaust jokes and stuff that I used to make that I just don't make anymore because like there is that little chance that YouTube, could come in, that YouTube could come in and uh and take my shit down. So I try not to do it as much anymore. It seems like they care less about live streams. Like I've um I've gotten, I've gotten stuff claimed before in normal videos, but in live streams they seem to care a lot less about what's said. I don't know why that is. Maybe like the robots that run this whole website just notice less in live streams. Maybe they care less, I don't know. But I haven't just noticed this on my channel. I've noticed this on a lot of people's channels. Generally, live streams are much more free. Like you're much more free to say whatever you want. Um yeah, I miss old anime AMVs now. It's just Nightcore trash. Yeah, like they don't put in any effort into AMVs these days. Like it's all just it's teenage girls making Nightcore songs over like Spice and Wolf or something. It's bad. It's really bad. He's just staring at me. This dog's bugging right here. He's bugging. Hmm. It's such a cute dog. Like I don't want to brag about how good my own dog looks, but like let's look at this guy. So, there's not very many dogs that look like this. It's like his fur is brown, but it almost feels kind of golden on the camera. He's just living life. He really is. He's just vibing. He's just vibing with all of us here. So he's a good boy. Mm. It relaxes me a lot to have a dog. Like there's been so many times when like I wanted to kill myself and I just looked over at my dog and then I remembered that if I died, my dog, my dog wouldn't have me here. Where he's freaked out and gotten really sad just from me being gone for a day. Like a couple days, he loses his shit. Like he doesn't know what to do when I'm not around for that long. He gets really attached and upset. Um, and so that was one of the things that kept me from killing myself for the longest time was that my dog would be alone. He's very cute and even more chill. You're lucky, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm very lucky. Can this lockdown be over already? I want to go back to work before I get kicked out. That fucking sucks, man. Yeah, like I hope that I hope that UBI thing that they're talking about doing comes out. Like if you've paid taxes before and everything, then you should probably get like what is it, $1,200 they're talking about. Um, if you make under $70,000, they're just gonna give people like direct cash payments from the government. So I just hang in tight there. Just hang in there until that government money comes in, man. If I get kicked out of my house, I might kill someone or myself. Yeah, I mean, like there's homeless shelters you can go to. Like you could get another job and start things up again, but no, I know it would feel really shitty, but you can, you can make it back up. Being poor fucking sucks though. Being poor is incredibly depressing. I grew up most of my life being like dirt poor. The only reason I had a house to live in for the first like 16 years of my life was because it was gifted to us by my grandfather, so we didn't have to pay anything on it. He just sort of paid taxes on it each year, and we were just allowed to live there. It was just a house that was given to my mom. But the house was like really broken down. It constantly, like in the summertime, the cooling would just break, so it would be burning hot in the house during the summertime. It would be like unbearable. Sometimes in the wintertime, the heating would break, and it would just be super, super cold, where like we just had to get a bunch of blankets. It's like there was mold on the ceiling and on the floor and stuff. It like on the outside of the house, it was like cracking. Like the foundation of the house was broken, and so there was a huge crack that like kept getting bigger in the house. Um, and so there was all these like random infrastructure problems that we had, and it felt really depressing to live there because it just felt like the whole house was just breaking down all the time. And then we also had to worry about, what if we're not allowed to have this house anymore? Because um because the house was given to my brother while we were still living there, like several years before we left. Is that my grandfather, just to sort of spite my mom, because he sort of had a bad relationship with my mom at this point, um, put the house into my brother's name. And so we were constantly worried that like if my brother just like freaks out or whatever, he'd just kick us out. And he threatened to do it a couple times. And so it was a pretty big fear when I was younger. It's like what if this fucking asshole he just kicks us out of the only place we have to live. It's like my mom constantly spent all of the money too, is that she would get money from Social Security because she has epilepsy. She was basically disabled, and she'd get money from Social Security each month for her disability, but she would constantly spend it. Like she would just blow through her money as quick as she could, and we wouldn't be able to pay for like food and stuff. Even though there was money for food there, she would rack up all of this debt, like credit card debt, randomly, random like mail order shit that she just wouldn't pay off, um, loans and things like that. And so she kept racking up all of this debt, while at the same time, spending, spending her money like it was stolen. She would just burn through it, and it was it was pretty fucking depressing growing up in that house. Like I used to be so hungry. I would get so hungry at times because I wouldn't eat for like a couple days living with her. That I would literally collapse because I had so little energy from not having food. Um, and so I don't know if it led me to like not growing my brain properly or something, or like having like a physical health problem, but at a young age I was completely malnourished, and it would get so bad that I would have to like stay in bed basically because I just have so little energy. Like the hunger pain would be that bad. Um, it's crazy. Saved up for a car, used all my money on a damn car. Then this damn Corona shit happened now. I'm about to be homeless. Crazy how life fucks you. Yeah, like it's a blessing and a curse because you never know what could happen in a year. Where sometimes I use that as kind of like a way to comfort myself. It's like things may be really bad now, but you never know what it's going to be like in a year. So maybe everything could turn around. But at the same time, it's like you never know what life is going to be like in a year. So what if everything goes to shit? Or, what if everything goes to shit in a week from now? Um, so it fucking sucks. It sucks. But you'll get through it, man. I believe in you. My mom kicked me out at 18, but didn't kick my sister out because she said I'm a man now. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Like most people who are 18 they don't know how to do half of the shit they have to do in order to in order to what's it called in order to live on their own. Uh, yeah. No, I'm thankful for my dad letting me live here. No, my dad my dad doesn't really care how long I live here. I just sort of live here with my dad and my sister, and it's very comfy. It's kind of like it's just a chill place, and I'm thankful for having the home that I do now because it feels like after years after years of taking it sideways from life, and not really knowing where rent was going to come from, or not really knowing how long I'd have the house that we had. um, it's nice just to have like a stable place that you can be in, you know? I house jumped and slept in the park and shit was hell. Jesus Christ, man. It really sucks. Um, yeah, I mean I'm glad you had people who you could go to during that time. I've slept outside before too. It's cold. It's really cold. So you're not going to be homeless after all, Star. Certainly not with this Corona stuff. Um, I the reason why I wanted to leave home, the reason why I wanted to leave home early was because I just hate going to school. And I haven't gone to school since December, like December 3rd, I think it was the last time I went to school. Um, and I just hate school a lot. And my dad, wants me to keep going to school. I just don't want to. Uh, so I I basically am gonna get my GED while living here. Uh, there's not really there's not really anything he's going to do to like, kick me out or whatever if I go that route. That's just the route I'm gonna go. And so, we've had some conversations about this kind of thing. And it you know, it's not required. Me leaving home is not required just to get out of school. Um, then I finally get my life together. Then this Corona shit happens. Now I'm going to be homeless again. Sigh, life is not fair. Um, it's not fair at all. People, if people get dicked over for no reason all the time, like people, even people who have done stuff wrong, like even people who are bad, I don't think they deserve, like in my opinion, everybody deserves a roof over their head. Like everybody. I don't think anyone should have to live outside. I think everybody deserves to have basic necessities like food. Like you can just get food and you don't have to starve to death. Um, but even like the worst people, because I wouldn't wish, like I wouldn't wish starvation or homelessness on my worst enemy. It's just fucked up. It doesn't matter who you are, it's just fucked up. But you get a lot of people, who they're perfectly fine, like they haven't done anything wrong, but they just get dicked over by the world and the system. It's fucked up. But yeah, hopefully you get those Trump bucks. Hopefully you get those Trump bucks because I think that that'd help out with the rent problem and everything. Look at him. He's got his mouth open. Why's he got his mouth open? He's just hanging out. He does this sometimes. Is like his mouth will be wide open. Hmm. This is a nice guy. I would rather get corona and die than be homeless again. Yeah, that's fucked up. But I mean, like I said, Trump bucks are gonna be coming like April 6th or whatever. I think that's what the the Treasury Department said is that they're gonna give direct cash payments to people like April 6th. So, if you can hold out your rent until then, uh, no, Trump bucks are coming. It's just gonna be a little bit. I wish they made the UBI permanent, because right now the bill that they did is that they're gonna do one cash payment to everyone making under 70,000 a year, and it's one cash payment of $1,200. And I wish they just made the UBI like permanent, like everyone just gets that amount of money every month. But it is what it is. I hope if it don't, this might be the last time you hear from me. Damn. Yeah, I mean, if I had the money, I'd pay your rent, man. I just don't have the money. Um, but yeah, hang in there. Like it's really the only thing I can say because I'm fucking states away, just a random guy on the internet. You know, it's not right. It's not right at all. But good luck. I'll try to live in my car if I can. That could be comfy. Yeah, I mean, you got a car. If you could just hang out in your car for a while, you'll be all right. I thought about living in a van. No, I thought about buying a van and putting like a mattress in it and like a TV and trying to make the van as much like a home as I possibly could and then just living in a van. And that was one of the wacky plans I came up with for a while. Living in a van seems awesome. I don't know about awesome. I could do it though. I could get on in a van. I should have bought a van. Sounds comfy. They are pretty comfy. I've only been in one like one or two times, but they're pretty cool. The only downside is you get the stereotype of everyone who drives a white van is a pedophile. It costs a lot for one that you can stand up in, though. That is true. I mean, you don't necessarily have to stand up in it, though. Like, I mean, I'm 5'9", for example, so I don't think there's a single van where I would be able to stand up all the way in, you know? I don't think vans that are that big exist. I mean, you could get like a camper, or like an RV, but that's a different thing. I don't think they make vans where people who are at like a normal height can stand up in. And my height's like the average height in a lot of countries. I'm 6'6". I barely fit in most cars. Holy shit. You're a tall man right there. Yeah, you're like a giant compared to me. I'm pretty small, I guess. Um, no, and the crazy thing too is that I weigh 120 pounds. You see, that's why my arms are so small. Look at this, fucking small, small, fucking tiny. Uh, but that's why. It's because I'm 120 pounds. But for all of you Europeans out there, that's 54 kilograms. Um, and I eat quite a bit of food. Like, I try to eat as much as I can. I just don't gain any weight. And I think it's probably just my metabolism. Like my dad's pretty small as well, and he eats pretty regularly. My grandpa was, he was skinny his whole life. So I think it's just my genetics. My genetics just make me like this. Ugh. No, like I wanted to start going to the gym, Um, but ever since this Corona stuff happened, like there's not a lockdown in my state in Kentucky. I think we have like 150 cases. I think yeah, we have like 150 cases in Kentucky or something like that. And in my county, we only have like two cases in my county or something like that. Like it's a really small amount, but they've been showing up, more day by day. So it's kind of like, I want to go to the gym, but this Corona stuff has just kind of kept me in my house. Even though I know it's probably not a thing here, it's better to be safe than sorry. Damn, boy, I weigh 220 pounds, mostly muscle, used to play football since middle school. That's pretty based. Um, in Texas, everybody is scared and all the gyms are closed. RIP. Um, but yeah, I need to go to the. There we go. My phone keeps cutting out. Every time, my phone keeps cutting out. Um, yeah, Kentucky hasn't really been hit that hard by Corona yet. I think it will over time. No, they estimated that this Corona stuff, the CDC, they estimated that it might be here until like April of next year or some crazy shit like that. Um, and I mean, people are starting to go back to work and stuff, even though there's just more and more cases. Like every day, there's more and more cases, more and more deaths. Um, you know, can't cope for shit, can't do drugs, can't work, or can't work out. Save me, God. Ah, yeah, yeah. I know that feel. Um, I know that feel. It's it's like some days I just don't leave the bed. Like I get so depressed some days that I just lay in bed for the entire day. Sometimes it's like multiple days at a time. I'll just be laying in bed for the whole day. It's like there's just no motivation. You just want to die. And you know, are you scared of the virus? I'm more annoyed by it. I'm a bit annoyed by it. I wouldn't really say like I'm scared of it. Like I'm not afraid. I'm just sort of being careful. As I try to be careful about most things. I don't like taking, super unnecessary risks. I mean, that's kind of a lie. I do fucking research chemicals. What am I talking about? But I don't know. I try to be careful with most things that I do. Um, no, if I got the virus, I would just get the virus. It's like, what's the worst it gonna do to me? I'll probably feel painful for a while. But will it be any worse than having a kidney stone? Because when I had a kidney stone, I just had constant excruciating pain. Is coronavirus going to be that much worse? I mean, yeah, maybe I would die from it, maybe, but I've wanted to die since I was a little kid. Who cares? Uh, fair. Just sick of hearing about it. Shit's getting old. Yeah, it's all normies talk about. Like normies are obsessed with talking about corona, and I think it's because a lot of normies have been forced to stay in their house with like no other people, and so they just become super obsessed with reading and researching about corona because they want to know when they can leave home as soon as possible. Um, and so yeah, yeah, it's don't more people die from cars? Why aren't they scared of cars? Yeah. I mean that's the thing though, is that you hear all the time about, things that you should be really afraid of. Um, but then you look at the stats and it's like everyday things, like normal things can kill you all the time, you know? Like if like motorbikes, for example. People are allowed to have motorbikes, they're allowed to drive motorbikes because we can realize that these are dangerous, and because you're an adult, you're going to either be responsible or not. That's your choice. But we expect you as an adult to, be responsible and educated on how to use a motorbike. Um, and it's like we have dangerous stuff all over the place that people are free to use, that people are free to do, and people die from it because they don't take the proper precautions, they're not being careful. But it's there. And it's all over the place. Everyday life has things that are incredibly dangerous in it. Um, it's just how things are. You just gotta, you just gotta be self-aware about it, and not do anything too retarded. Like you got all these people who they barely know how to drive. Like they don't know the rules of the road. In Kentucky, for example, you get some people out here driving like fucking madmen, like breaking every single traffic law that you can, just all the time. Like it, and they're just increasing their own risk of getting into an accident. You know, he's making a bugging face now. Look at him. This corona shit is just the new Ebola, swine flu. Give it a month or two, and everyone will forget about this shit. I mean, it really depends on if it's contained or not, though. That's the thing. Is that like in Italy, for example, like I think it's something like what is it like 40,000 people they have there that are infected or it's some fucking insane number like that. Like their number just keeps going up, and people are dying in like big numbers over there. So it's like if the situation got worse in Italy, and other countries like Spain and shit, it could be around for a while. I hope it only lasts like a month, but like the cases keep going up in the US, so we don't really know. But yeah. Mm. Like when Ebola happened, I remember it was just a small outbreak in some African countries. And then the UN and like the American government went and just took care of it really quick. Um, you know, we should have built that wall and kept them fuckers out, but no, Orange Man bad. I mean, I don't know how many corona cases Mexico has though. I don't think Mexico has that many cases of corona. I think like mainly it just came from like trade with China, is that, Chinese boats came in, or people who visited China came in, and they just started, spreading it to everybody else. No, that's why I haven't ordered anything from China. It's like I've wanted to order stuff from China, but I just haven't done it because, I this shit. This shit's bugging out. But yeah, I think it's because the economy is global. So YouTube keeps fucking up. It keeps YouTube keeps erroring out. I'm probably gonna have to end the stream here pretty soon because my phone just keeps fucking up. But yeah, I think because the economy is global and we're trading with like everybody now all the time, and like international travel has never been easier. It's like everyone's traveling all the time. Um, if there's, even just like a small outbreak in one of the bigger countries, like Italy or something, it's going to carry over to the US. That's just how it is because that's the way our economy works. We just trade with everybody. And I think it would overall, like it would be better and easier if we made stuff more in our own country. Like if the factories that make stuff weren't, factories in China, we just had factories in the US that made stuff. This stuff would be a little bit more expensive, yeah, but our people would have more jobs. Um, and we wouldn't have to deal with random germs getting spread around from all these other countries. I don't like ordering things online. I feel like I might get my shit stolen. Is that weird? I think it's pretty uncommon. Yeah, usually like almost everybody orders stuff online now. Like Amazon is a big mainstream thing. eBay is big and mainstream. So like the post is pretty good about keeping stuff from getting lost. Like stuff doesn't get lost in the post very often. But if you live in like an apartment and you have like your mailbox is like on the outside or something, I mean someone could steal it if you live in like a more low income place. It depends on where you live. Like some places your shit is more likely to get stolen just because it's a really high crime kind of low income place. Other places not so much. Like I never have to worry about anything I order getting stolen in my part of Kentucky because even though I live in the ghetto technically, like it's not a bad enough ghetto that people are going to come up to my porch and just take stuff. And I mean the houses have a bit of distance between them too. Um, and so I don't know. And I mean I'm always at the door, like I'm home every day, so I don't really have to worry about it. But yeah, I mean I just get a PO box when you can. Like if you're really worried about stuff getting stolen, like having a PO box is a good way of going about things. But yeah, I it really just depends where you live. No, I've always thought ordering stuff online was cool. Is they just send it instantly to your house. You can get like milk now through that way. Like milk that's cold when it comes in the mail, you can get off the internet. All the groceries you would need, um, you know, drugs on the internet, you can get them there. Like video games, it's clothes, it's all there. Like you could subsist your entire life off of just buying stuff off the internet. That's how resourceful it is. Like everything is there. Um, everything is there online. You can buy all of it. Um, yeah, humans are fucked. We're going to become so antisocial. Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing it. Like people are spending less and less time, with friends and family and stuff, and are just kind of like either stuck in their job or when they get home, they're so exhausted from working their job that they just don't have the energy to hang out with anybody. And more and more of our interactions are being done through the internet. And I mean, I'm thankful for the internet giving me the friendships that I have. But like, I want friends IRL. I want people who are physically there, who I can connect with, physically in person. So over the internet, you know, the connection can be real, but it's not the same. Like when you get that physical dimension, like this person is right in front of me and they're living and breathing and we can hang out, it's so much better. Um, well, that's why I wanna like my life goal, like my goal in life would be to have a house of my own that I can just invite my internet friends to live with me. And we could just hang out all the time. That's like my dream in life because I don't want to be this antisocial for so long. I see more people at the self-checkout line than the normal cashier line. Yeah, I do too. Like people, they don't even want to interact with cashiers anymore. That's how bad it's gotten. Touch, sweet touch. That would be based. It would be based. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna head off now. Um, it was nice. It was nice talking to you. You fine folk out there. Stay safe these troubling times, and Yeah, that's about it for me. Good night.